Well, greetings. I'm out here taking my dog for his daily walk, and I thought I would use this time to make a quick video that has to do with bullets. What bullet to, I get asked often by new shooters, what's the best bullet to shoot out of my gun? What's the best round to carry? And I am going to say right up front that I am far from an expert on bullets. So this is just from my own experience, my own military and law enforcement experience, but contrary to popular belief, cops and soldiers are not experts on munitions and on bullets. I know that sounds weird. A lot of people think that cops are like firearms experts. They typically are experts with their own weapon. But, I carried a weapon for 30 years and couldn't have told you any of the ballistics behind the weapon. I mean, I knew how to shoot it and aim it and make it hit what I wanted it to hit. But, as you get older and your interests change, you learn things that are important to you. So, again, this is not going to be a technological breakdown of projectiles, and I'm not going to tell you the gel factor of a .223 at 1,000 meters. It's not going to happen. I'm sure there's countless videos on that type of stuff here on YouTube. This is designed for the brand new shooter, and I'm going to try to address some of the basic questions that I get a lot. So what's the best bullet for to carry in my handgun, let's say? And I think I'll start by just talking a little bit about bullets in general. First of all, you have to understand, what is it that a bullet is designed for? Now, that seems like a pretty rhetorical question, but when you look at it, it's sometimes helpful to break it down into a little bit more specifics. The idea behind launching a projectile out of your weapon and into a human body is to create as big a hole as possible. I mean, that's pretty much the basics of it. I mean, if you hit somebody 5 times with a small, fast-moving projectile that creates an entrance and an exit wound that's pretty close to the same size, that is not going to do or have as much stopping power as one hit that creates a very large cavity, damages the body, the internal organs, and causes shock, that kind of thing. And that's what you want to do, because you're shooting at somebody because you're trying to stop them from doing whatever it is they're trying to do to you. That's why you're using deadly force anyways, unless you're a homicidal maniac. Hang on, I gotta let Charlie off the leash so he can get in the water. Hang on. Okay. Alright, so where was I? So yeah, you want to make as big a hole as possible to do the most damage. So there's so many differences, and some of them seem subtle, but when you get into the practical use of them, they're actually very important to understand. With a handgun, for example, if you let's just say you have a .380, and a lot of new shooters I notice want to carry .22s and .380s because they're small and they're very concealable. And unfortunately, I have one. I have a .22 that I carry not as often as I used to. I've always carried it reluctantly, and it's usually when it's summertime and I'm wearing shorts and flip-flops. But I've upgraded to carrying a snub-nose 5-shot. That's what I have on me right now, 5-shot 38, because I realized just from experience, from seeing people shot so many times, that a .380 and a .22, they may be deadly, and they may even be deadly hits that you score, but they take a long time to render somebody, combat ineffective, to put them down. Charlie, stay by Dad. So, if you punch a couple holes in a guy's chest with a .22 long rifle, unless you hit the guy in the heart or something, or even the heart. I actually personally watched a guy shot with a 9mm who was hit in the heart, and he ran a half a block before he dropped dead. Now think about it. If he had the right mindset and the right weapon and was in a crowded mall or something, he could have done an awful lot of damage in the time it took him to run a half a block. some people, when they're shot, are just too fucking stupid to realize that they're dying, and they just keep doing what it is they were going to do. There's a famous FBI shooting that happened in Florida way the hell back. I think it was in the 80s or the late 70s. Suspect's name was Platt, P-L-A-T-T. You could probably Google it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but there was a movie made about it. This guy, long story short, and it's an interesting study, he was shot at the beginning of an incident with a bunch of FBI agents, and that hit was fatal. I think it went through his side of his torso and hit many, lungs and vital organs. So he was effectively dead. There was no way to save this guy. If he would have been in an operating room when he got hit, he still would have died. But he went on to shoot and kill a couple of FBI agents and wound another one permanently. That's the kind of mindset that I envy, and I wish all cops had that mindset, and soldiers and civilians that are on the right side of the law, good people that you just keep doing what you got to do no matter what your situation is. It's envious, or enviable. On the other side of the coin, there was a cop many years ago who got shot in the arm and died because, and this really goes more to mindset, but he got hit in the arm with a 38 or a 9mm or something, I don't remember, but he actually died, and there was no reason for him to die. He didn't die of blood loss or anything. He died because in his mind, I'm filming on my phone, so if you hear a buzz, I'm getting text messages or something. But this guy died because he had always believed that if he got shot, he was going to die, and that was a subconscious thing. And, the brain controls your body, and if your brain is totally convinced that you're going to die when you get shot, there's a good chance you will. If you're too stupid or too drugged up, or you've got the real warrior mindset and you're just not willing to give up your life, you can keep pushing on with some serious wounds. Look at some of our guys downrange in Afghanistan, and some of the guys that were in Iraq took major hits and kept driving on, and they're still here today. Charlie, stay over here. Where are you going? But guys going bushwhacking. Let me hook them up, and I'll get right back with you. So yeah, that's probably another video. I got a little off topic, but small caliber bullets typically are not really good for stopping. Now, the other thing that I'll tell you too, and this is again just my own experience and my own observations, a lot of people talk about the bullet that is the big stopping bullet, the knockdown bullet. I don't really think that bullet exists. I mean, I guess if you hit somebody with a Desert Eagle, and actually I had a friend who was killed by a Desert Eagle, and before he hit the floor, I mean, he got hit once and it was fatal, but he pulled his 9mm and got off about 6 rounds and ended up hitting the guy that shot him, and they both died right next to each other. Yeah, that was a bad scene. So yeah, I mean, sure, if you hit a guy in the fucking head with a 50 caliber bullet, he's probably going to go down. But some people say, oh, it's got to be a 45, a 40, and I'm a big believer that a 45 is a great round if you want to stop somebody. And the reason it is because it creates a huge fucking hole. It's a big chunk of lead. It's a slow, I don't know the ballistics or the speeds. I think it's moving not much faster than 400 feet a second. And I'm probably wrong. Go ahead and correct me. But it's a slow bullet. Come on, Trey. And it just does some devastating damage when it hits a living thing. Let me take a break. I got to get a picture of the sunset here. All right, so yeah, it's sorry about that. I had to take some pictures of a very beautiful sunset. So now it's getting a little bit darker, and it might be hard to see me, but whatever. You can still hear what I'm saying. So yeah, once you understand that you're trying to create a bigger hole, because a bigger hole causes more shock and trauma to the body, and that's what you're trying to do, is overload it. And that's the whole concept of the double tap, or when you shoot somebody, I like to get my shooters in the habit of doing a double tap, which is 2 to the chest, boom boom, and then of course 1 to the head if the person's still a threat. The idea of the rapid succession of shots, boom boom, evaluate, boom boom, is when you hit somebody twice, the more you hit them, the more overloaded their their body becomes, and you know, as it starts to go into protective mode. So the more damage, the better. Now, when you take a rifle, for example, you know, anybody that's watched my videos knows that I've got quite an array of long guns, and you know, I love the 5.56 or the 223, same round basically. The NATO 5.56, which is fired out of the AR-15 or the M4. You know, that's a very fast projectile. So it's real, and it's very light. So you got a light projectile hauling ass, which is a great thing. You know, you want to hit somebody whether they're up close or far away. But if there's a lot of obstacles between you and that person, you know, it's really not that effective in comparison to other rifle rounds, in my opinion. I'll just quit saying it because it's all my opinion. Because it's so light that you can, and I believe that our Vietnam veterans found this out, when you're shooting through something as weak as foliage, you know, you got a lot of tree branches between you and the target, that light round can hit a branch and literally deflect and go off in a whole nother direction. Just like when it hits the body, you know, I mean, you can hit a guy with a 5.56 and have a little teeny entrance wound. Come here, Charlie, this way. Little entrance wound, and by the time it comes out the other side of his ass, that thing may come out completely sideways like a barn door. Totally awesome. That's what you want. You want it to do. That's going to cause major damage as it hits a rib and makes a hard right turn, and you know, you hit a guy in the fucking center chest and it comes out his, you know, upper right shoulder. Very common with that round. You take the AK-47, which fires a 7.62. Another fast round, but that one is better suited for punching through things like branches and shit, because if you hold them up side by side and just the projectile part of it, it's a much more robust round. It's got more meat to it. It's a heavier round, so it can punch through obstacles and keep going in the same direction that it was going when you fired it. So yeah, you definitely want a bigger, heavier round if you're going to be knocking through things. Personally, I don't think you can go wrong with a heavier round, and whether you're shooting long gun or handgun. Bullets don't always have to go, you know, lightning fast in order to be effective. Sometimes their speed is relative to their weight, and that can be a negative. Hang on a second, let me have this car go by. That's the park police coming through. I just got bit by a fucking mosquito, man. That's the size of a pterodactyl. Holy shit. Probably get what the hell is it? Some virus going around. I'll probably be dead before I get back to the truck. But anyways, so yeah, most guys and girls that ask me these questions are talking about handguns. Try to hang on a second. This guy's coming back through. Wait for Daddy. Good boy. He's a good boy. So, when it comes, it's clearly it's not an easy question to answer, because there's more to it. This way, Char, than just saying, you know, oh, carry a 45. Personally, when it comes to handguns, I've opted to do what a lot of law enforcement agencies have done, which is, the hell is this Blair Witch thing going on here? Some weird Indian shit on the picnic table. It looks like some psychotic fucking hunter's campground. Look at this. Clearly this is designed to put a curse on anybody that walks over here. Let's go look at this table. So will I mess with it? No way. I'm not superstitious. I just don't want to fucking have ghosts chasing me around the house like that. Here, let me take off your leash. Come here. Come here. Good boy. God damn, something bit the fuck out of me. Right there. Yeah, bastard. Alright, hang on. I gotta make videos and play with Charlie. Charlie, you wanna go get the ball? Wanna go get the ball? Go get it. Good boy. Come on, Charlie. Come on. Bring it to Daddy. Charlie, come here. Give me the ball. Good boy. Oh, you lazy. He's gonna lay down and eat the ball. But, look at this guy. Charlie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you getting too old and too fat? You didn't bring me the ball. You embarrassed me in front of everybody. You embarrassed me in front of everybody. You give me that. Okay, you can have it. But yeah, what I've done is I've opted to carry the 40 caliber because I think the 40 is a good, I'm not doing a real good job being clear here. When you're carrying a 9mm or a 22 or 380, you know, you get the concept that a lot of people like is that you can carry more rounds. That's true. You can carry 15, you know, rounds in the mag, one in the chamber, 16 rounds of 9mm. But, you know, with some of the newer weapons, you can do just about the same. I carry a subcompact 40 caliber, which is a good, it's a good middle round. Charlie, stay by Dad, because somebody's coming over here. Because you get, you know, it's not much smaller than a 45, and I think I'm carrying 13 in the mag and 1 in the chamber, so it's 14 rounds. It's a good round. That's what I would recommend. You know, there's millions of studies about how the 9mm sucks. Is that true? I don't know. I'm not the right guy to ask. I do know that if I was going to carry a 9, and I do sometimes, I stagger my rounds with a really good high performance hollow point, and then I'll back it up, like I'll go a hollow point and then some good ball ammunition and then a hollow point, because I may need to get through somebody's jacket in the wintertime, somebody's thick clothes. You'd be surprised how some of those 9mm hollow points will be stopped by something like a leather belt. It happens a lot. Here's another cop car. But yeah, so when it comes to bullets, you know, do your research, figure out how many you're comfortable carrying and which ones are going to be more effective. And just the rule of thumb is, what good is it if you hit a guy, a suspect, you know, 20 times with a bullet, with 20 bullets that are not going to kill him until, you know, he bleeds to death or dies of lead poisoning 2 hours later? That's not going to do anything, because you want to stop him right now. That's why you're pulling the trigger. So if you're carrying less rounds because you want to carry a bigger round, then get very proficient reloading fast and accurately. And you should be proficient doing that anyways. That's something you should practice no matter what you carry. Stay here, Char. So get very much in the habit of being good with your weapon and being good with your reloads. And don't carry one magazine with you. You know, if you're going to carry a weapon, carry enough ammunition to feed it. What if your mag goes bad and you got to get rid of it? These things are all things that have happened. So just, you know, I say, and I'll end it with this: carry the biggest, fattest, heaviest round that you can carry, and still be accurate with, and that it's not so uncomfortable that your weapon's so large that you don't want to carry it. You know, don't underestimate the effectiveness of a revolver. You know, you can get a good 357 round. Has always been an excellent round. Do the research on that. That's a good round to have. Yeah, you got 6 rounds in the gun. So get to the point where you can handle the job with 6 rounds and or reload very fastly. Fastly, is that a real word? How about quickly? So that's it, man. I got to scratch this mosquito bite because it's driving me nuts. I hope this was helpful. It seems like I was rambling, but what the hell? It's kind of what I get paid to do, right? Love you.